Okay, so welcome back to the podcast, guys. Today we have Josh Casey from Woking. Could you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, no problem. So, as you said, my name's Josh. I play for Woking FC. I'm left back and captain, and we play in the National League.
And Jake, start things off.
So thank you for coming on today. It's nice to talk to you. And obviously you play for Woking. What's been the highlight for you this season?
I think the highlight for us this season has probably been just overall how well we've competed. Obviously, we're the only part-time team in the league, or one of only a couple. So it's been good going to these big clubs and getting results. But I think the highlight is probably the victories away at Chesterfield or Fylde, because obviously they're big clubs. So it was good to get the wins there.
You said that Woking was one of the part-time teams in the league. Would you say that puts them down a bit?
Yeah, so you got a lot of the other clubs are full time, so they're training every single day. They don't have other jobs, whereas Woking we only train on a Tuesday and Thursday evening, so it's going to be harder for us because we don't have as much time to work on fitness, set pieces, shape, and things like that. So to be able to compete and match these teams and finish in the top half and have a chance at the playoffs is a really good achievement.
Obviously, this season you've excelled expectations for the club. Do you think you would want to go as a club full time?
Yeah, I think that's got to be the aim. I think we all want to achieve as much as you can do. I think that's got to be the aim. Whenever you do something, you want to try and be as good as you can be. And I think to do that, we need to be full time so that we can try and challenge for promotion and go into the Football League, which is, I think, what everyone at the club wants. So yeah, full time football is a must, I think.
Do you think the club could just change to full time, the click of your fingers, and then everything be okay, or do you think there'll still be complications?
Yeah, so it's a complicated process because you've got different things to it. You've got players, a lot of players at Woking have other jobs, so transitioning to full time would mean that they have to give up the careers that they've got in their other side of things to pursue football wholly. And then in order to do that, you've got to pay people a lot more, so the club would have to find a lot more money to be able to do that. Then the club would have to find somewhere for them to train on a full-time basis and pay for that. So I think that the costs of going full-time are very, very high. So I think that's the difficult thing. I think if the club had the money to do it, I think they probably would do it as soon as they could. But it's money, unfortunately, that it all comes down to.
This season, Woking was doing amazing at the beginning. Obviously, first place for quite a while. What do you think happened?
Yeah, it's difficult to say because I think we did start so well. I think we had a run in the middle where maybe we tried to overcomplicate things, or we thought we were better than we were. I think we achieved so much at the start of the season and again towards the end of the season when we worked really hard and tried to prove people wrong and had a lot of people doubting us. So I think we may have taken our foot off the pedal in the middle part of the season, just because we thought we'd achieved what we wanted to and we'd prove people wrong, and then maybe you become a bit complacent.
Obviously, the season's finished. Do you think if it carried on, do you think you would have had the chance to get playoffs, maybe even promotion?
Yeah, definitely. I think you'd like to think so. We started playing really well towards the end of the season. I think we're 3 points outside the playoffs as well, with a nice run in. So we were confident of making the playoffs. And then when you're in the playoffs, you never know what can happen. Anything can happen. So yeah, we're really disappointed that the season's ended. Obviously, they haven't decided what they're going to do about promotion or relegation yet. So that's up in the air. But yeah, we were confident we would have gotten to the playoffs.
Jake?
We've spoken to a couple of the Woking players, and they've all said they're really gutted about the season just getting stopped. And I forgot what I was going to say. George, save me.
Okay, I was gonna go back to talking about when you were a kid. Was you enjoying football as a kid? Like, did you think you would ever make it to what you've made it now?
Yeah. I loved football as a kid. Obviously, it's your whole life when you're growing up. I played lots of different sports, but football was always my one love. And I think yeah, you dream of playing in the Premier League and as high as you can. But as you grow older, you realise that that's not possible for everyone, and it is a difficult industry to succeed in. So to play at the level that I've played at and achieve what I've achieved, I'm happy. But hopefully, there's still plenty more to come.
When you so-called made it, would you? What was your feeling when you got like the contract to come to Woking?
So I think I wouldn't say I've made it. I think you've only made it if you're playing in the Premier League or the Championship or League One. I think anything less than that, you haven't necessarily made it yet. I think it was great to get the contract to play for Woking because they're such a massive club in non-league. So it was a great feeling, and I think I think that the highlight of that has probably been achieving promotion with them last season in the playoff final. That was incredible, and sport gives you great feelings, and there's nothing quite like that.
Jake,
have you ever looked at like a video of you playing football and ever thought, wow, I didn't realise I could do that, or I didn't realise I was that good?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I have. You do surprise yourself a lot of the time though when you're watching highlights. Normally, because the manager's making you watch mistakes that you've made, so a lot of the time you're looking at stuff that you've done wrong, and then criticising yourself rather than looking at how good you are. But yes, it's always good. I'd advise any sort of young player to make sure they watch as much footage of themselves as they can to try and find out what they can do better and what they're good at as well.
obviously you're in your late 20s now. Would you say you could go further than Woking, go professional, go somewhere else like League Two, maybe League One?
So I've had offers to do that in the past, but it just hasn't been right with different things. There's obviously I've got a job as well, so the financial side of things needs to be right. I'd never say never. I'd love to play full-time football, and I'm lucky enough to be in a position now where I could do that if the offer came. So yeah, I'd say never say never.
Jake,
Do you if you wasn't playing football, do you think you'll be doing any other sports, or would you just stick to what you've got outside of football?
I love sport and I love staying active. So I probably would be doing something else. I do like playing golf and cricket and tennis and anything really. I think I just love anything involving competition. So yeah, there's no way I could have a life without any sports at all.
do you want to talk about I'd say probably one of the biggest games Woking's had in the past couple of years? Woking versus Watford.
Yeah,
what was the feeling going into that game? Because obviously they're Premier League there.
It was really strange because obviously at our level, normally the build up to matches is really small. You don't really have any media around, but that whole sort of few weeks leading up to it, we were doing interviews with TV. We had TV people coming to watch us train, and it was quite nerve-wracking really, because you're thinking you're going up against players who, like Tom Cleverley, has played for England, played for Manchester United, and you think that's like, some of these guys are the best the best players around. So it was nerve-wracking but exciting at the same time, because there was no real pressure on us. No one expected us to get a result. No one expected us to win the game or even come close to it. So I think it was really exciting, and it was just about trying to make sure we didn't embarrass ourselves and lose 7-0 or 8-0 or something like that. And we actually we acquitted ourselves quite well. We played well, and it was a great day. It was really interesting, sort of playing against people who play in the Premier League week in, week out.
What was the feeling? Because obviously you're a defender. Was you like as any other player, and also you're the captain as well. So what was that like?
Yeah, it was a massive honour to captain the team against Watford. It was huge, because it's not often that happens, and it will go down in Woking history, the home match against Watford. So it was a massive honour for me, and it was obviously I was playing against Will Hughes, who's again an established Premier League player. So it was a great challenge for me, and it just does make you realise how good these guys actually are. So when people who don't play football or play at our level criticise Premier League players, it makes you realise that they're all very, very, very good.
Jake,
what was the feeling waking up on the day of the game thinking, wow, we're going to play against the Troy Deeneys, the Tom Cleverleys and other Premier League players?
It was it was amazing. We were all looking at looking at their squad and sort of wondering what team they'd put out. So I think we were all really happy when they did put out quite a strong team. They made a lot of changes, but there were still some big names in that team. Obviously, Deeney came on, Cleverley played. So they're all big names.
Was the like atmosphere in the change rooms different to the start and the beginning of the game? Because obviously you weren't expected to win, but you know there's always that one little chance, and obviously for you to lose, not by much for a side like Woking. But what was the atmosphere like?
It was weird because I think we were happy in one sense that we got through it and we didn't embarrass ourselves, but we were disappointed because we conceded a stupid goal for them to go 1-0 up, and we were always in the game. So there was never really a moment where they were battering us or 3 or 4 goals ahead. So I think we all sort of were a bit gutted that we couldn't hang on for a bit longer.
Jake?
Was you impressed with how Woking played that game, or do you think they could have played any better?
I think we played well. Obviously, they had probably 80% of possession, so you're not touching the ball much. But we did well. We were organised. We were solid. It's just the only disappointing thing was the goals that we conceded.
George?
Would you going back to your childhood? Was you like your parents the one who influenced? Because obviously you said you were very sporty. Was your parents like pushing you on?
Yeah, my mum took me to everything. She made sure that I played every single sport that I wanted to, and I think it got to a stage. It's pretty much 7 days a week. I was playing sport of some kind after school, twice at the weekends, and every single day. So it was. I owe a massive amount to her for everything she did. Definitely.
Was you like what team did you support as a child? Was it a local team or was it a big team?
I was a Newcastle fan growing up. Actually, still am a big Newcastle fan. So it was the first game I went to as a kid was Newcastle Chelsea. So I decided to support them. It's always been them, and just hoping now that the Newcastle takeover goes ahead and we can sign all the players and win the Prem next season.
Yeah, Jake.
Obviously, like every footballer's had a setback. When you had one of your setbacks, did you ever think you were going to stop playing football, or did it motivate you?
I think it always motivates you to try and prove people wrong. So I think whenever you have a setback, it's all about trying to be as mentally strong as you can and staying positive. It's easy to sort of get down on yourself at different times and lose confidence. But if you work hard and if you trust the process and just sort of stay determined and stay focused, and you can always do whatever you want to do. So yeah, I think it's massively important just to stay positive.
As a club like Woking, do you like games like in the FA Cup? Because obviously you have the chance to play against these big teams. Do you like them, or do you prefer playing just your normal league games?
Yeah, I think we love the FA Cup games because you get a chance to be on TV and play sort of massive teams. That's great, but we're never going to win the FA Cup. It's always going to be a sort of Premier League or Championship team that wins it. So I think the league games are where you've got a chance of actually winning something and achieving something. So I think if you look back at last season, we had obviously Watford in the 3rd round of the FA Cup, which was great, but the favourite day of everyone's season, I think, was the playoff final when we won that and got promoted, because there's no feeling quite like winning. So I think the league games are your bread and butter and the ones that you want to win to try and achieve something in the season.
Do you think getting promoted through the playoffs is more magical than getting promoted, like finishing in the top few teams? Yeah,
so I've done both. I've had playoff victories and I've won leagues as well, and I think the playoff is sweeter because it's one day and there's sort of so much riding on it, so many nerves, so much expectation, and it's a really, really emotional sort of busy day. So I think the playoffs is definitely sweeter.
What's the atmosphere like winning a game, like a big game like that, the playoffs?
You honestly can't describe it. it's a mixture of relief and just complete happiness, because you've worked for 10 months or however long the season is, and then it all comes down to one game, and at the end of that game you've either achieved nothing that season or everything. So it's a huge sort of emotional drain and sort of outpour at the end. So yeah, it's probably the best feeling in the world.
Jake?
Moving on, do you think if a team that's from like a different country abroad, if they came in, do you think you would take the offer if they came in with a decent offer?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it depends where it was and their different circumstances. But yeah, I think everyone would love to play in a different country, hopefully somewhere warmer.
Do you think so-called geography is good for you? Like, as in, if you'd got an offer far away, would you take it, or would you prefer to stay in like the London area?
I think in England, I've got obviously a fiance now. I'm getting married and stuff like that, so it would have to be around the London area, just because otherwise you're uprooting your whole life to go to somewhere else in England. So I think if it wasn't abroad, then you want to stay in London, close to family and friends and things like that.
Jake?
Have you ever had an abroad team come in with an offer and obviously you've turned it down, or has that never happened?
No, it never happened for me. Never happened.
So you posted on your Instagram a couple days ago, and it said that you missed football. Are you say you'd enjoying this time off football, or would you just really want to go back?
I think I enjoyed the first sort of maybe week or two, because it's good to get a break from everything and relax and recharge. But now I'm just ready to go back. We're speaking to all the lads at football, and everyone's really missing it and can't wait to get back playing, because it's a big part of your life. And I think everyone who likes football is missing playing, watching, and being involved with it. So it's really horrible.
Jake?
Well, it basically is a pre-season, but are you treating it as a pre-season, or are you just treating it as like a holiday?
Definitely treating it as a pre-season, because you've got to try and keep fit, because we don't know when we're going to be back or what's going to happen. So I had a couple of weeks where I just rested and didn't do too much, so I let my body recover, and now I'm back to it to try and keep fit and stay sharp, so that when we do go back, I'm ready.
What's the privileges of being the captain?
So I think it's privileges that you get. You obviously when you're captain, you get to lift the trophies first, and you're the leader of the team, and you're talking in the team huddles, and you're talking after games, and your input is listened to, and you're sort of the bridge as well between the team and the manager. And so if the players aren't happy with something, you can go to the manager, and if the manager's not happy with something, then you've got to tell the players. So yeah, it's a massive responsibility, but yeah, it's a privilege as well.
Does it like make you play better, if you know what I mean? Because obviously I'm the captain, you've got to play even better than you would play otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's exactly the case. I think if you're the captain and you're playing really badly, then it looks bad, and it's hard to then give instructions to other players, because if you're not doing your job, you can't tell anyone else what to do.
Jake?
Do you think other players in the Woking team admire you? Like, there's young talents such as Jaden Wareham. I know you're different positions, but do you think he looks up to you and wants to have the role of being a captain?
I hope so. Jaden's a really good player, and his attitude is amazing. He's really, really hard working. So I think yeah, it would be nice to be admired by them. You want to be respected, I think is the main thing. You're not gonna get on with everyone in the team, and you're not going to be best mates with everyone, but you want them to respect you and back you, and hopefully the players at Woking do that.
Who is one of your best mates you've made through football?
If you've got any.
So I'd say I've got Max Kretschmar, obviously in the Woking team, is a very good mate. I've got a guy called Charlie Knight, who's one of my closest friends, who I met through football, and another guy called Sam Boltwood, who is who is again a best friend who I met through football circles. There's also obviously lots of other friends that you make through football and that you meet and you get on with. So it's there's a lot of people, and it's because you're with each other for so long and you go through a lot. You do become great friends.
Are your best memories from your football career with Woking, or have they been at any other teams, like from promotions and other stuff?
Yeah, so I think Woking obviously has given me some great memories in the last couple of years with the FA Cup and the promotion and everything else. I think Hampton has some great memories there as well with winning a league there and having some playoff attempts as well. So that was fantastic. And then earlier on in my career, when I was younger, I was at Salisbury and we had a promotion there. So it was, there's a lot of memories that you take from different places, some good, some bad.
You said you've got a job. Is it tiring trying to fit your job in with football, or is it just, would you say, easy?
Yeah, it's hard work. It's hard work. So I'm working obviously 9 till 5, or sometimes earlier and later, and then you have to go off straight to training, and you might not get back until late for matches, and then you've got work the next morning. So it's hard work, but again, it's a privilege being able to play football at the level I do. So it's one of these things that you actually quite enjoy doing it.
Do you think Woking struggle more with midweek games, or do you think they're just the same as other teams?
Sorry, could you say that again? You broke up slightly.
Do you think Woking struggle more with midweek games, obviously because some of the players have jobs within the day?
Yeah, we did. We looked at our record, and I think on Tuesday night games, I think we'd only won one Tuesday night game all season. So I think it must have played a part. It didn't feel like it when you're playing or before and afterwards, but the stats don't lie. So I think we must have struggled.
Obviously, you're a defender. Is it like amazing to get a goal, or is it just like any other goal? Do you celebrate like a lot, or?
So I think my last goal was last season, and we were 2-0 down at the time, or 1-0 down at the time. So it didn't really mean anything. So I couldn't really celebrate, which is unfortunate. But yeah, if I ever score again, hopefully I will, and I need to add some more goals to my game. I'd celebrate like mad, definitely.
Jake?
Did you enjoy when you scored, or did you enjoy stopping attackers getting past more than like obviously getting up and scoring?
Yeah, I love defending. I love defending 1v1 against wingers and hopefully getting the better of them. So that to me is just as good. And also anything I can do to create goals is just good. Just anything to help the team, really.
What would you say the best attribute you bring to the game? Is it your pace, your strength, your overall defending?
I'd say probably my 1v1 defending is the best attribute I've got, and I think that's probably my biggest strength, as well as maybe consistency as well. So I'd say I play at a similar level each week, and I rarely have sort of bad games, which I think is important. So I'm quite reliable.
As a kid, did you play somewhere else rather than a defender?
Yeah, I used to, till I was 15, 16, I played up front actually. So just managed to slowly work my way back down towards left back.
Do you think you could get any better in your game? Like, do you think you're at your prime right now, or do you think you can keep getting better?
No, I think I can definitely keep getting better. I think everyone has to try and get better. Otherwise, your standards will slip. So I think it's just about trying to work as hard as I can and see what improvements I can make.
Jake?
I'm all out, mate.
Are you ready to move on, like go professional, or do you think you would want to wait a couple more years?
I think it's difficult. It depends on the offer and if any offers came. But say, for example, Woking went full time, I'd love to do it with them and stay full time and go professional with them. So it depends on the circumstances. But yeah, never say never.
So if you'd say Woking going into next season, would you say you would want to move from Woking if they suddenly went professional, or would you stay there and keep the boys going?
I'd love to stay there. Yeah, definitely.
Is it going to be a hard transition to go from professional to From semi-pro to professional part-time?
Yeah, I think it would be really difficult, but it's one of those things that I think it would be enjoyable as well. Sort of playing football every day would be great.
Would you call Woking home, or do you think there's anywhere else that would want you in that you could call home?
I think Woking definitely is a place I've felt happiest throughout my career. So I'd love to stay here for as long as I can.
Would you, talking about fans now, do you think, because obviously you're the captain there, they like you, do you think they put you down, or like away fans, do you think they put you down a lot?
Yeah, I tend to get a lot of abuse from away fans just because of the way I play, and I'm quite annoying, I think, as an away or I would be annoying to away fans. So I do get a lot of abuse and a lot of stick from them, but it's part of being captain and part of the player that I am. So I think people would often see me on the pitch and think that I'm a bit of a trying to find a nice way to say it, a bit of an idiot, and that's just the way it is. But it doesn't bother me too much.
So you just let it go straight past your head?
Yeah, exactly. I think you can't worry about what people who don't like you think about you. I think the only people I care about are my family, my friends, and what my teammates think.
Jake?
Do the away fans drive you, or do you just not take any notice to them?
No, they definitely drive me. I think there's nothing better than getting abuse from away fans and then being able to give a little bit of stick back to them when you win. So yeah, it's definitely added motivation.
Do you prefer playing home or away? Because obviously, if you're playing away, you've got like the little fans in the corner just go crazy if someone scores. But obviously, you're home, you've got the whole stadium apart from one corner. What do you prefer?
I quite like playing away because I think the Woking fans that go away are incredible and they make so much noise and they're amazing. So they often make the away games. You hear them more than the home fans, and then obviously the home fans will get quite annoyed if their team's losing to us. So it's added motivation. So yeah, I prefer playing away.
Jake?
I'm all out.
What is one of the best stadiums you've played at this season, or like forever in your whole career?
It's a difficult question. I say that this season it's probably Chesterfield. In my career, actually, honestly, can't think right now. But yeah, this season I'd say Chesterfield.
Is there any stadiums you would love to go to? Like, obviously, everyone's dream is to play at Wembley. Would you want to play at a different stadium that means more to you, or is it Wembley as well?
Yeah, Wembley as well. I'd love to get there in the FA Trophy or the playoff final at Wembley would be definitely the best day of my life football wise.
All right, I think we're all out of questions. Thank you for coming on today.
No problem at all. Pleasure.